What happened when you stopped arguing with your parents? My mom discovered environmentalism and suddenly decided our family was killing the planet. First, she just had us use reusable bags, but then she spiraled into monitoring everyone's carbon footprint and water usage. One morning, she stood outside the bathroom door and yelled, "You've flushed 3 times today. Do you know how many gallons of water that is? From now on, this family is going completely zero waste." My dad tried to suggest moderation because my mom was always jumping full throttle into new obsessions, but mom was already pulling out a color-coded chart of new household rules. "If it's yellow, let it mellow," she announced, "and we're composting everything, no exceptions." I told her I was totally on board and ready to save the planet. I stopped flushing entirely, even when it wasn't yellow, and our bathroom started smelling like a festival porta potty. When mom's book club came over, her friend asked if our septic tank was broken while I explained loudly that mom said flushing was wasteful. The ladies sat uncomfortably in our living room trying not to breathe through their noses while mom opened every window, despite it being 40 degrees outside. Then I started composting everything like she'd said, including meat, dairy, and my brother's failed science experiment. The compost bin turned into a horror show of maggots and smell that attracted every raccoon in the neighborhood. Mom tried to explain that some things shouldn't be composted, but I reminded her she'd said no exceptions and accused her of not caring about methane emissions from landfills. I refused to use any electricity because mom had mentioned our carbon footprint, so I did homework by candlelight and wouldn't use the microwave, forcing everyone to eat cold leftovers. When mom tried to drive me to school, I said cars were destroying the ozone and made her walk with me the 3 miles each way. She had to leave for work an hour early just to get me there on time, arriving at her office sweaty and exhausted. Then I announced I was limiting myself to 1 60-second shower per week to conserve water. By day 5, my chemistry teacher pulled me aside to ask if everything was okay at home because other students were complaining about the smell. The school counselor called mom to discuss hygiene neglect, and mom had to explain that I was actually trying to save water while they documented her answers suspiciously. I started bringing our trash to school in my backpack because throwing things away was wasteful, and I wanted to find ways to reuse everything. When my backpack leaked old coffee grounds and banana peels in history class, the principal called mom about my disturbing behavior of hoarding garbage. Mom had to come get me and my bag of composting trash while other parents watched her load decomposing waste into her car. Her sister visited for dinner, and I served everything on leaves I'd collected from the yard because washing dishes wastes water. When she asked for toilet paper in the bathroom, I handed her the family cloth system I'd made from cut-up old t-shirts that we could wash and reuse. She left immediately and called mom later about getting me psychological help. I wore the same outfit for 2 weeks straight because the fashion industry was killing the planet, telling everyone who asked that my mom said buying new clothes was irresponsible. My teachers started sending concerned emails about my appearance, and mom had to have multiple meetings about why her daughter smelled like compost and looked homeless. The refrigerator died when I unplugged it to save electricity, spoiling hundreds of dollars of food that I then insisted be compost, creating a mountain of rotting produce in our backyard. The neighbors complained to the HOA about the smell and the rats, and mom got fined for creating a health hazard. She tried to plug the fridge back in, but I'd already filled it with seedlings I was growing for our new victory garden. Mom's coworkers started avoiding her because she smelled like our house, which now had the distinct aroma of fermented garbage and unwashed humans. Her boss suggested she work from home until she resolved whatever was happening, and I overheard her crying to dad that her career was falling apart because of the zero waste lifestyle. She finally snapped when I announced I'd signed us up to host her company's quarterly meeting at our house to show everyone how an eco-friendly family lived. "Cancel it," she begged, but I explained that I'd already sent emails from her account about our composting toilet system I was installing and the gray water recycling demonstration I'd planned. Her face went pale as I continued, "Oh, and your mom's coming to stay next week, right?" I already told her about our new lifestyle, and she's excited to try the family cloth and outdoor shower system I'm building. She said she's bringing her church friends to see how we're saving the planet. Mom grabbed her phone and started typing frantically, but I added, "Too late to cancel. I already confirmed everyone this morning and told them you'd be devastated if they didn't come support your environmental journey." The doorbell rang and I smiled. That must be the documentary crew from my school's environmental club. They're doing a feature on radical zero waste families. Full story on the channel below.